All right, it is time to grid and go racing. Up front will be Juho and Giancarlo. Scott Nalawi and Nick Sorensen on the second row. Adam Barker, Mike Marshall on the third row. Simon Zierk, Rudolf Gunther on the fourth row. Mike Dolling and James Crook rounding out the top 10. Then Gregorio Caridi and Eric McCready, 11th and 12th. 13th is Brian LaRue. Dylan Steinbach is 14th. Ronnie Wimberly is 15th. Joel Wraith is 16th. Thomas Smith 17th. Ed Schilling is 18th. 19th is Martin Johnson. Matt Bear is 20th. And if he grids, Harry will be in 21st. There you see him lining up on track for the partial warm-up lap here. There you see they're down by the kink as everybody gets gridded. As mentioned, you can see where the start-finish line is up on the top right hand, but as they come down that track into that tight section, that first few turns are a doozy. Depending on which measurement you want to go by, this track is anywhere from 3.2 to 3.9 miles. This configuration shows at 3.91 miles, 16 turns. And unlike some of the recent tracks they've been at, the corners here do have a little bit of banking, a little bit of camber to them, especially through the downhill section. That'll make things really, they'll carry more speed, but that's the place where we will see some guys struggle with the back end trying to keep it planted as they roll off the Porsche pace car, leading them down toward the front straightaway. Juho and Giancarlo, that's been the battle all season long. Adam Barker is trying to qualify so well, races so well, has such crap luck in the last few races. Needs a little bit of luck here today. All right, pace car is in. They're coming through the final turn, already starting to come up to speed as they get to the front straightaway. Juho shoots out. Green flag is in the air. Smart move by Juho, going as soon as possible. That's going to put him in position. Hopefully no issues into turn one. Juho and Giancarlo get through. Let's watch through the pack. Does everybody make it through is the question. Everybody makes it through the first turn. Down through the next section. Juho still out front. Oh, we've got a spin. Looks like Rudolf Gunther spun. Simon Zierk got caught in it. Everybody else manages to clear. And could Adam Barker's bad luck be over? That happened right behind him. He avoided it. Let's take a look at what happened there. It looked like, to me, he might have just gotten on the gas a little too early. He went a little wide and just overcooked it. Simon Zierk goes around. Several guys get a small piece of it. Both drivers holding their brakes, waiting. And several drivers picking up position throughout that. Juho trying to open up the gap on Giancarlo. Scott Nalawi in third. Nick Sorensen in fourth. Mike Marshall in fifth. Adam Barker in sixth. James Cook, he picks up 3 spots before the first lap is even done, as does Gregorio Caridi. Brian LaRue up 4 spots. And Ronnie Wimberly, the lone Ferrari in the field, is up 5 spots after starting 15th. He is the biggest mover so far. Oh, and then he goes off. Dylan Steinbach involved in this. A lot of cars get caught up in this. See if we can find where everything started to go wrong there. As they come up into the chicane. Oh, as we mentioned in pre-race, he just gets too much curb. The car right behind him gets too much curb. McCready apparently had to get evasive and went to pit road. I think McCready may have actually had some damage from that first incident. Ronnie gets it straightened out. Several other cars. Dylan Steinbach involved. We'll have to see, was that the same incident? Yes, it was. There's Dylan Steinbach in the Pennzoil BMW. He gets on the gas too hard and goes around. Something I noticed in the BMW here is that it's got the power, but you have to be a little careful getting on the gas coming up through first and second gear. Once you get about halfway through the RPM range in second gear, man, that thing is off like a shot. But it's just getting through first and second gear. It's so easy to spin those tires, especially when you're on the first lap and the tires are still cold. Yuho does not seem bothered by cold tires. He's already got a 1.5 second lead. And Giancarlo is falling back. Giancarlo is now back to 6th place. This is the run Yuho needed here today. Scott Nalawi also now up to 2nd. Nick Sorensen 3rd. And look at this, Adam Barker in the top 5, right behind Mike Marshall. Joel Wraith, another new driver in the Lambo, now up to 10th after starting 16th. Ed Schilling in the Mercedes. He is up to 11th after starting 18th. And look at this. Okay, let's just look at the top running cars right now. Obviously, Yuho, the top running Porsche. Scott Nalawi just laid down the fastest lap so far in the 2nd place BMW. Giancarlo is the top running Lambo. Then James Crook in 7th is in the Audi. And Brian LaRue, this is the first time we've seen a Mercedes this far up in a while. He's in 8th. Mike Doling just had an accident. We knew this one would be exciting, but folks, I didn't expect it to be this exciting. He's coming off of pit road, and I think something must have broken. I don't know what happened there, but he ended up towing back to pit road. Interesting to see Mercedes starting to come into the picture here today. Brian LaRue in the Mercedes in 8th. Ed Schilling is currently in 11th in the Mercedes. Matt Bear in 13th. Harry did not grid, so we've only got 3 Mercedes in the field. Right now, though, the fastest laps are being run by the 2nd place BMW of Scott Nalawi. And that 1.5 second lead that Yuho had is shrinking quickly as Scott Nalawi is starting to close in on Yuho. Loses a little bit of ground through the last 2 turns, but he had closed within a second before the chicane. He was about 0.8 of a second back. Simon Zierk involved in an incident, as is Thomas Smith. Let's see what happened to Thomas. Down into, down through the horseshoe at the bottom of the track. He just goes around. Herbie's grip a little off today. Simon Zierk. Same thing, and we talked about this. Oh, and they get together with Herbie. What a series of events. We talked about it earlier on that down through that corner is going to be really dicey. It's got enough banking to give you some confidence, but oftentimes a little too much confidence. You send that car in too deep and it will go around on you. All right, Yuho in first, Nalawi and Sorensen in 2nd and 3rd, working together to close that gap up. And they have both ran their fastest laps and both laps have been faster than Yuho. They are gaining on him, especially in the high-speed sections of the track. Yuho, obviously the Porsche, more maneuverable on those tight corners, but once these two get together, they split the air and pull up on him through the high-speed sections. Although right now he actually has a 2-second lead, so it seems like he might be wearing him down with those tighter sections, especially through the last few corners and the first few corners of the track. Yuho just walking away. Adam Barker now up to 4th. Giancarlo has recovered. He is back in 5th. Mike Marshall in 6th. James Crook is 7th. Brian LaRue is 8th. Gregorio Caridi is 9th. And Joel Wraith is in 10th. And again, Ed Schilling's Mercedes in 11th. This is probably the best run we have seen out of the Mercedes this season, running in 8th, 11th, and 13th right now. Oh, they get together. Ed Schilling gets together with Joel Wraith down into turn 1. We knew turn 1 would get dicey today. Let's take another look at that. There's Joel Wraith, the other Lambo, only 2 Lambo, and he brakes so early in the Mercedes. I'm not sure if Ed Schilling completely missed his braking mark or just didn't expect that Lambo to stop so soon, but there you have it, into turn 1. Surprised we did not see any issues the first 2 laps, but here we are, and things are really starting to get a little dicey mid-pack. Out front, though, Scott Nalawi and Nick Sorensen still trying to run down Yuho. Adam Barker in 4th. Thought I saw Sorensen go around. He is just slinging that car around. Adam Barker in 5th. Giancarlo currently running in 6th. Mike Marshall is still in 7th. Looking for one of the best battle, really is the second place battle. But I think those 2 drivers are really working together, trying to find a way to get up there. Ronnie, we saw him have the incident in the last chicane earlier. He is still continues to recover, as he is now up into 10th after starting in 15th. Matt Baer, the other Mercedes in the field, was struggling in practice and knew he was in trouble here early on in practice. He actually messaged me and said, "Oh, I'm going to lose badly today." He seems to be recovering quite well. Look at that, Joel Wraith right behind him, even with the damage on the back end after that hard hit into turn 1. And let's watch Joel's braking point into turn 1 and just see, did he brake early or did Ed completely miss? It is hard to tell. I think Ed is just able to drive that Merc deeper into the corner into turn 1. Ed is does not look like Ed Schilling has come to pit road. The damage on that must not be too terribly bad. They didn't lose a ton of spots. They lost a couple, but they managed to recover quickly. Adam Barker in 4th, as we mentioned earlier, as David mentioned in the comments. Looking for some Giancarlo going way wide. Looking for some luck here today. So far, so good. Everything has happened behind him so far. And I can promise you we are not going to be looking at his in-car camera today, simply for the fact we do not want to jinx Adam Barker. Matt Baer, who started in 20th, is now up to 11th, up 9 spots. Biggest mover of the race so far. Mike Dolling, after his incident, appears to be out of the race. Not sure what happened. It looked like that car suddenly just shot left as he was going into turn 1. off the track and stopped. Hey, thank you, Bill. Mike Marshall's still showing in Discord. He might be watching over it, but it looks like he is out of the race. Scott Malawi in second place has actually managed to... Something happened to Nick Sorensen, and now Adam Barker is up to third. Let's see what happened to Sorensen. Oh, just gets in too deep, too hard on the brakes, goes around Adam Barker, Mike Marshall, and Giancarlo all slip by as they work their way downhill. So Adam Barker, looking for some luck today, might actually be getting it. Everything is falling in his favor. I think he has earned a little bit of luck here today. Giancarlo, used to seeing him pull away from the field. He was struggled early on, drifted back to 7th place after starting in 2nd, now back up into 4th. Came into today with a 6-point lead over Yuho. Yuho trying to check out from the field, 2.5 seconds ahead of Scott Malawi, and 6.7 seconds ahead of 3rd place Adam Barker. And let's hop in the car with Nick Sorensen for a lap. As they come out of turn number 1, setting up through the tight section here, you can see the Porsche just gets through and gets off the center of the corner so much better. But once they get to the straightaways, those BMWs just come flying back. BMW gaining through the higher speed corners. Down into the right-hander, and this is where we've seen so many problems already today. And the BMW just closes right back up to the back bumper of Mike Marshall. Back up the hill, clipping the apexes, and here comes Nick Sorensen after that spin, losing a couple positions, fighting his way back on the outside. He'll have the inside line through the right-hander. And this is where he should be. Oh, he gets off in the dirt. And Mike Marshall fighting back down to the inside. Setting up for the chicane, hard on the brakes. This is where the Porsche is the best. Holy cow. Sorensen was right on that back bumper. He drove deep into the chicane, managed to make it work though, and now back around and back down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. Nick Sorensen did that lap in 1:58.54. Not bad for almost 4 miles of track. Yes, David. That is absolutely what I was thinking as soon as Sorensen hit the dirt. Commentators curse. Yuho way out front now, 3.3 seconds over second place Scott Malawi. But here is something that's going to make Adam Barker happy. He is closing in on Scott Malawi just a little bit. Brian LaRue has an incident. Let's see what happened. One of the Mercedes in the field. Oh, gets on the brakes and just overcooks it. spins. That's the second or third time we've seen that happen in that corner. Downhill section, you're carrying more momentum. It's really tricky, and you've got to kind of trail brake into those turns. And too much brake will send you around. A lot of these guys moving that brake bias back as far as safely possible, I should say, trying to make up some ground. Brian LaRue had another incident. Let's see if that was related to him trying to get back on track. There he goes. He spins off. He gets into the runoff area. Seems to get it back going okay. I guess it was just related to the spin there. Yuho just continuing to pull away. And he has said in recent weeks, once he reaches a certain point where he feels comfortable, he backs off a little bit, saves a little bit of fuel. And we've seen fuel and tire strategy come into play here quite often recently. Especially fuel. Most of these guys will run the entire race on the single set of tires. We did see some tire changing last week at Sabuka. But for the most part, these guys will run the entire race on a set of tires. Two of the Audis, excuse me, now running 7th and 8th. James Crook, Gregorio Caridi, now currently running in 7th and 8th, both up 3 spots from where they started. Ronnie continues his march to the front. He is now up to 9th place after starting in 15th. Matt Bear, still the biggest mover. He had gotten as high as 9th. He has drifted back to 12th, but after starting 20th, he is still doing rather well in the mix there. Interesting choice. I think he did say before the race, after he got out here in the Mercedes, he chose the wrong car. But hey, that Mercedes does sound awfully, awfully tough when it comes by. And you can see he's got a little bit, the Mercedes has the power advantage on these long straightaways. As long as you get the run off the turn, you can get a huge gap on everybody else. You've even seen in recent races where they've been able to pull away just a little bit. Even with a car drafting, they can pull out of the draft. So the Mercedes just has so much power, but because of that long nose, it just does not want to turn. Scott Nalawi has actually started chipping away at the lead just a little bit. Yuho had about 3.5 second lead. Last time they came through here, it's now down to 3 seconds. Nick Sorensen has crashed again. You see Sorensen get hard on the brake and just goes around. We've seen so many guys get loose right through there. A lot of guys able to save it, but several cars have been caught up. Starting to see a few pit stops. Thomas Smith has hit pit road. Well, he should be within pit stop range. He should be able to take on fuel here and go the distance. Now the question begins to be asked, while Yuho continues to pull away just a little. No, Nalawi is close to within 2.5 seconds. Nalawi has really picked up the pace. He's actually pulled away just a little bit from Adam Barker now. Adam was starting to chip away at that time, but it is now expanded again. Adam had it down to just under 4 seconds at one point, but Nalawi is pulled it back to 5.5 seconds. Last time Malawi was half a second faster. And there you see where the different makes are running currently. It's Porsche, 2 BMWs, Lambo, Porsche, BMW, 2 Audis, the lone Ferrari in 9th, and the Mercedes in 10th. Top 10 is a pretty interesting spread. They expected the BMWs to really be the dominant force here today. That really has not played out here, though. Scott in second place has chopped the lead down to 2.7 seconds. Adam Barker in third. He's got Giancarlo right behind him, but Giancarlo has closed up a couple of times but cannot seem to find a way around Adam Barker. And this is the run Yuho needs. He needs a perfect pit stop and everything to go his way here as he continues to chomp away at Giancarlo's points lead. Came into today 6 points behind Giancarlo, but Yuho might close that gap even further here today, and especially if Giancarlo has any kind of problems here today at all. It is the perfect opportunity for Yuho. Mike Marshall currently running in 5th. Nick Sorensen, despite multiple issues here today, still holding on to 6th place. James Crook in 7th. Really haven't talked about him much, but he is the top running Audi, and you know, a lot of guys out here that usually running Audis are in BMWs today, so good job for him to keep representing the 4 rings. Gregorio Caridi always in the Audi and in 8th right now. Ronnie alternates between the Ferrari and the Ford. It seems like he's ran Porsche once, but for the most part, he is running those 2 cars. New paint scheme on his Ferrari here today, and he is doing great, up from 15th up to 9th. And as mentioned, Brian LaRue, the top running Mercedes, in 10th place. Started in 13th. Has had a couple of different issues, but still holding on to that top 10 spot. Dylan Steinbach in 11th. Haven't seen Dylan in a while, but here he is making his way up to 11th. Matt Bear in his first race with the league is up to 11th. And here we go. The battle for Matt Bear was in 12th. The battle for 13th is on. Ed Schilling has 13th in the Mercedes. Joel Wraith in 14th. And remember, these two got together in turn 1 not that long ago. Joel has been looking for a way around the Mercedes, but has not been able to get past him yet. And there you see the Mercedes just pulling away from him down the straightaway. Once he can get on the power, he just pulls off. But now the Lambo definitely more maneuverable than the Mercedes. That Mercedes long nose definitely comes into play in these tighter corners. And Joel Wraith looking to the inside does not have a run. Looks like Eric McCready is right there with him, trying to use the draft to get something here off into turn 1. McCready sticks the nose in, can't get there. And this is a 4-car battle because Matt Bear is just ahead of these 3 guys. Still nose to tail McCready in the BMW this week. He's usually in that Audi. And this battle is really starting to heat up. McCready's trying to find a way around both of these drivers. He's got to run, but he's going to be on the outside when they get down into the big right-hander. Can't do anything. And Joel Wraith manages to stick the nose in on the bottom, and he's going to come out ahead on this deal. Joel Wraith now up to 13th. McCready follows him through and takes 14th. They move Ed Schilling back to 15th. Now McCready's going to try and work on Joel Wraith. He has been trying to get around both of these guys. Joel really slinging that Lambo through those corners. Nick Sorensen hits pit road now. Should start seeing a lot of pit stops anytime. McCready's got to run. He's going to have the preferred line into the chicane. Oh, but he overshoots the chicane. And he's going to end up losing the positions he had already gained. And it looks like Ronnie might have gone off track a moment ago. Let's take a quick look at that. Just clipping. Oh, just goes a little bit wide through there. Rally drives it through the grass and manages to save it. I don't know that I could have saved that car with 4 hands and 3 feet, but he does it just driving with his mouth. So extremely impressive. If you haven't checked him out, as I mentioned every week, go check out Quad Racing on Twitch. Giancarlo has had an incident. Oh, he clipped it, overcooked through the turn, gets completely turned around, has to just barely getting out of the way of Mike Marshall as he comes through. Giancarlo off track, losing a ton of time. That is the first mistake we have seen out of Giancarlo, I think, all season. I am shocked, to say the least, but wow. Scott Nalawi in second, Adam Barker in third. Adam Barker, Giancarlo happened right behind him. It looks like the tables have turned for Adam Barker's luck. Mike Marshall currently running in fourth. Giancarlo now back into fifth. And another interesting point, the Audis are starting to make their way forward. Pit stops definitely coming into play here. Giancarlo's possible saving grace is going to be the fact that that car can go. He makes that car run forever on the fuel. Nick Sorensen has completed his stop. He is back out on track. With it being a long lap, some of these guys, because it's an open setup, some of these guys, and I'm beginning to suspect Giancarlo does this, once he gets a few, we've seen early in the season where he gets so far ahead and then he just finds the perfect balance and doesn't gain but doesn't lose. I am guessing that they are adjusting their fuel map to save fuel. Rudolph Gunther has had a problem, as has Joel Wraith. All right, let's see what happened to Rudolph first. Same thing that happened to Giancarlo, just gets down in there. It looks like he recovered a little bit quicker. Joel Wraith also has an incident, and Joel ended up towing to pit road. And it is Joel and Ed Schilling side by side again. Here comes, oh, Joel just shot off the track. It's like he completely missed his braking point and got completely off the track. Not sure what happened there, but that was definitely... Let's try and take another look at that one. Drag race down into the corner. He gets on the brakes, and I think it might have just gone right on him. he went straight to the pit, so a bit interesting. Yuho currently running 3.5-second laps. And some of these guys we have seen make it to about the 15-minute mark before they have had to stop. But as David mentioned in chat, because it is such a long race and a long lap, these guys are not going to push that very far. They're not going to try and get the extra lap like they normally would on a shorter course. It's just too risky. So some of these guys are going to be playing with the fuel map, trying to save a little bit of fuel where they can, especially on these longer runs. But once it comes down and they know it's close, they're going to come to pit road. And second place, Scott Nalawi is on pit road. Yuho has not been yet. Will Adam Barker come? No, Adam stays out. And Mike Marshall really struggles through the chicane. Giancarlo right back to his back bumper. A lot of odd situations happening on track today. Giancarlo down to the inside. This is going to be the battle for fourth place after pit stop cycled through. And Mike Marshall managing to pull away as they pass the stopped car of Scott Nalawi on pit road. Oh, and Mike goes a little bit wide through turn one. Giancarlo keeps looking, keeps sticking the nose in there. He might just be trying to make Mike Marshall a little nervous here. And it looks like Joel Wraith towed to pit road. He has not come off pit road. A lot of guys are going to pick up an extra spot. Matt Baird now up to 11th place under this cycle of stops. Scott Nalawi, because of the field being stretched out, he only lost 5 spots. He drops back to 7th. Ronnie Wimberly now up into 8th. Brian LaRue in 9th, the top running Mercedes, and really impressed by what the Mercedes are doing here today. But Dylan Steinbach right behind him is closing that gap. He is currently running in 10th. Got Mercedes in 9th, 11th, and 13th. Brian LaRue, Matt Baer, and Ed Schilling. McCready did manage to get around both Schilling and Joel Wraith and is now up to 12th. Really seen some odd situations. Mike Doling, obviously the problem in turn one early in the race. Whatever happened to Joel Wraith just then, a few moments ago, just several very odd circumstances as Yuho and Mike Marshall both come to pit road. Adam Barker stays out. Giancarlo stays out. Yuho giving up the lead. And Adam Barker is back in the lead. I believe this is the first time this season he has led a lap. Yep, I double checked that. This is his first time leading this season, and hopefully not the last. Hopefully the bad luck has broke for Adam Barker. Brian LaRue, Dylan Steinbach, Ronnie Wimberly, and Matt Baer all on pit road. Giancarlo still has not pitted. The top 4 have not pitted. Adam Barker is not pitted. Giancarlo is not pitted. James Crook, Gregorio Caridi have not pitted. Then Ed Schilling, back in 9th, has not pitted. Martin Johnson also has not pitted. I haven't talked about Martin much. He is up to 16th after starting in 19th. Not extraordinarily fast, but has been extremely consistent, and he has picked up a few spots along the way. And he's actually closing in on the back bumper of Matt Baer, as Matt, after pit stops, is currently running in 15th. And Adam Barker and Giancarlo both come to pit road. So James Crook is on pit road. Will Gregorio come to pit road this time? He is low. He is coming in. And that will give the lead back to Yuho. But look at this. Scott Nalawi, I don't know what he did on pit road, but he is all over the back bumper of Yuho here. And shout out again to Adam Barker. As David mentioned, his luck has been crap all season, and it seems to have changed. Adam Barker just came off pit road in third, only just under 2 seconds behind the top two. And this battle with Scott Nalawi and Yuho up here battling, this could help Adam Barker. It'll give him an opportunity to catch back up. Giancarlo back in fourth is good for all these guys in front of him, as that helps them all pick up some points here today. Mike Marshall usually late in these races, there's not a lot of battling going on, but right after pit stops today, there's a ton of battles going on all over the track. You got Yuho, Nalawi, and Adam Barker just behind them. Giancarlo a little bit behind as well. He is 12 seconds behind. Mike Marshall 3.5 seconds back. McCready is now up to 6th. After pit stops, Eric McCready has worked his way to 6th. James Crook is 7th. Simon Zierk has got himself back up into 8th place, but Simon still has to make a pit stop. He pitted on lap 3 for repairs. Oh, Eric McCready also pitted on lap 1 for repairs. Gregorio Caridi now up to 9th. Ronnie is 10th. Brian LaRue is 11th. Dylan Steinbach 12th. Ed Schilling 13th. Matt Baer 14th. And Martin Johnson 15th. Looking to see Rudolph Gunther, who is currently running in 17th, will also need to pit. Martin Johnson has not been to pit road in 15th. So a few positions that will change as we're waiting for Simon Zierk and Eric McCready to come to pit road, but both of them having stopped on lap in the first couple of laps. I would imagine that they also got a splash of fuel while they were on pit road to get any kind of advantage. Now Yuho is starting to pull away from Nalawi just a little bit. And Adam Barker is starting to close in on Nalawi just a little bit. Giancarlo is 12 seconds back. He's got 19 minutes. Can he make up the gap? We've seen him pull away. We've seen him recover from further back, like at Road Atlanta, but can he do it again here today? Definitely some amazing pit stops. Adam Barker's pit stop was 2 seconds faster than Scott Nalawi, 3 seconds faster than Yuho. And as was Giancarlo's. Giancarlo was a half a second faster than Adam Barker. Most of these guys were their pit stops were in the 18 to 19 second range. Adam Barker, Giancarlo, both of them 16. Adam Barker 16.92, Giancarlo 16.43. So some extremely quick pit stops here for these guys. And Adam Barker has gotten around Nalawi for second. Let's see that pass. And it looks like Nalawi had a problem coming off the turn. As they get down into the kink, Adam had way more momentum and just monsters by him. Coming into the chicane, has the advantage and sticks the landing through there. Eric McCready now going into pit road, giving up 6th place. Worth noting, we still have 16 of the 21 drivers on the lead lap, but that could come into play as well, as Nick Sorensen is battling with Martin Johnson, and they're 15th, 16th. Rudolph Gunther is 17th. Looks like he is being scored a lap down, so they're going to Sorensen, a minute 22 behind the leader. That will come into play before long, as Yuho is running 1 minute 57 second laps. With 16 minutes left to go, it is highly likely that Yuho will catch and get into lap traffic. Now the question will be, does that work for Adam Barker? Can he get through that traffic quicker? He's definitely getting through this section of track substantially faster than both Nalawi and Yuho. But it is those tight sections of the track where the Porsche has the advantage. And if Nalawi starts battling him again, that could change everything. They right now are just 2 seconds behind Yuho, but that battle could change everything. Looking further back, there is a battle going on for 6th place. James Crook currently in 6th. Simon Zierk in 7th. Simon is coming to pit road. That battle comes to an end very quickly. Gregorio Caridi currently running in 8th. Ronnie currently running in 9th. Brian LaRue in 10th. Dylan Steinbach all over the back bumper. McCready off pit road in 11th, trying to make up some ground, get back into, or in 12th, excuse me, working to make his way back up into the top 10. He's going to come around Simon Zierk. He'll pick up 1 spot here. Ed Schilling has had such a rough day and starting to make his way back up, currently in 13th. He's going to be drag racing down the front straightaway as Simon Zierk comes off pit road. And there's Simon off into turn 1. And you see that Mercedes just does not hold the same line that everybody else is able to pull. Just that longer nose, a little bit longer wheelbase. Yuho starting to pull away again from Adam Barker. Scott Nalawi in 3rd. Giancarlo in 4th. Has lost a little bit of ground. After pit stops, he was 12.5 seconds back from Barker and Nalawi. Now 13 seconds back. Mike Marshall in 5th place. The 5th place is 6 seconds behind Giancarlo, but 12 seconds ahead of 6th place James Crook. James has 12 seconds either side of him, back to Gregorio Caridi, who is 4 seconds ahead of Ronnie. Ronnie currently running in 8th. Brian LaRue is the top running Mercedes in 9th. Dylan Steinbach in 10th. And Ronnie is now taking Matt Baer's place as the biggest mover of the race so far. Matt Baer now back in 14th. He's 1.5 seconds behind the other Mercedes of Ed Schilling. Ronnie now up to 8th place after starting in 15th. And you know what we haven't done yet? Is which we should have done earlier on and just seen. Let's pull up some speeds and see how these guys are doing, especially how they do coming down the front straightaway. There you see Yuho coming through the final chicane, now through the final turn. Adam Barker right behind him, down to 62 miles an hour through the final corner, on throttle, down the front straightaway towards turn number 1. And as he hits the braking point, gets up just to about 150 miles an hour. Through turn 1, you see he gets all the way down to 35 miles an hour. This section of the track, very slow, very tricky. And it is so easy to get on the throttle too hard. Try and get anything you can through here. You have to be very gentle. Coming back up to speed down the next straightaway as they start the run down the hill. All right, back downhill, long straightaway here. Not the longest straightaway though, we still have that to come. About 125 miles an hour. Up the hill again, doesn't accelerate as quickly. 121 miles an hour, comes through the S section there. Now up to 4th gear. 137 miles an hour as he gets on the brakes. Now the right-hander into the long straightaway, down through the long straightaway into the kink. Taps 140, has to get on the brakes briefly. Saw 151 miles an hour down that straightaway. Let's watch Adam Barker's time, as Adam is, the BMWs have been the fastest here. Just see what he gets on the front straightaway. $130. 146. It looked like it briefly hit 147. So a few miles an hour faster. And with these long there was smoke coming off Adam Barker's left rear tire as he went through turn 1. Giancarlo in the Lambo. We missed out on seeing how fast he was going through there. We'll have to get a look at him next time. Looking at Adam Barker's speeds as they come through, a little bit slower in the tighter corners. He carries more speed through the high speed corners and definitely more speed on the straightaway. 136, 137 miles an hour. Now we're back up this hill. Yuho could only get to about 120. There you go, 135 miles an hour as Nalawi looks to the inside, can't get there yet. And Nalawi really slinging it through the corner, trying to keep momentum up. Now down the long straightaway, how much speed does Adam Barker carry here? Doesn't lose as much speed in the kink, gets up to about 150 miles an hour. Giancarlo coming down through here now. BMWs definitely have the speed advantage here. BMW definitely the car to be running here today, but Yuho's proven them all wrong. This battle for second though, Nalawi looking to the inside for turn 1. Adam Barker on the brakes a little bit harder. Rudolf Gunther just crashed. Oh, just getting off that turn, trying to carry as much momentum as possible. down the long straightaway towards the kink. Meanwhile, Yuho out front has opened up a gap as Nalawi and Barker have continued to battle. 3.3 second lead, 7 minutes left to go. Giancarlo is continuing to lose ground on Adam Barker. Now 14 seconds behind. Mike Marshall, though, has closed in down to 8.5 seconds behind Giancarlo. And he's pulled away from James Crook. Gregorio Caridi in 7th, 4 seconds ahead of Ronnie Wimberly. Brian LaRue currently running in 9th, Dylan Steinbach in 10th, and McCready up to 11th now. Oh, a little bit of problem coming off the corner there for McCready. Loses a little bit of ground. It lost about 0.3 of a second there. Can he make it back up? Simon Zierk in 12th, Ed Schilling 13th, Nick Sorensen 14th. Matt Baer has drifted back to 15th as of right now. Martin Johnson 16th, last car on the lead lap. It looks like Rudolph Gunther has gotten repairs. He is now coming back out on track. He is currently in 17th place. The battle for second still going on. Adam Barker is staying right in the tire tracks of Nalawi. And the battle for 10th might have been settled as McCready has gotten by. Let's see how he made that pass. Coming up off the horseshoe on the, oh my goodness. Steinbach just stalled it a little bit. Looked like he had to try and save the car from getting loose. McCready reacted just in the nick of time and manages to make the pass there. Also, Nick Sorensen has made his way back up into 13th now after getting around Ed Schilling. Scott Nalawi and Adam Barker still the closest battle on track for second place. Rudolph Gunther has crashed again. Rudolph having no luck here tonight. And we saw him spin there earlier. We saw Giancarlo spin there earlier. We've seen countless drivers have problems right through that section of track. Just trying to set up for the long straightaway, carry as much momentum as possible, and push just a hair too far. Yuho still way out front. This battle for second, Nalawi cannot pull away from Adam Barker. Ed Schilling has crashed. We've seen a couple of close, one incident and a couple of close calls with Ed. And there you see it, just gets off into the turn too hot, on the brakes too hard. The back end snapped around on him. Just over 3.5 minutes left. If Adam Barker has anything left for Scott Nalawi, he's going to have to do it now. Should be about 2 to go at the line for Yuho. And you know, regardless of, as long as Adam Barker gets this podium finish here today, he is going to be happy. He has broken the bad luck streak, and you know what? At times he has been the fastest car on the track. His lap times are equal to those of Yuho. He has got to be pleased with the run here today. All right, Yuho's going to cross the line, it looks. Should get the white flag next time by. Scott Malloy, Adam Barker, just a couple of laps left to settle this one. Giancarlo looks like he has resigned himself to finishing fourth here today, and he will still not a bad finish, but he is going to lose some points here to Yuho. Will it be enough for Yuho to take the points lead and begin his charge towards another championship? Mike Marshall has been steady and consistent all day, currently running in fifth. James Crook currently running in sixth, the top running Audi here today. Gregorio Caridi in seventh. Ronnie, the lone Ferrari on the track, currently in eighth and closing in on Caridi, but does he have enough time? It's about a 2-second gap right now. Brian LaRue, the top running Mercedes, and here comes Eric McCready down to the inside into turn one. And McCready for ninth, or no, Brian LaRue looks back, can't get the run. Look like LaRue might have something for him on the outside of the corner. Now LaRue dives. Oh, they touch. LaRue swings wide, and McCready slips back by. What a battle between these two. That allowed Simon Zierk and Dylan Steinbach to close back up. Let's try and get a little closer view on McCready's car. Does not look like there's any significant damage. None on LaRue's car either, but now LaRue is in trouble. Simon Zierk right there with him in 11th. Yuho way out front, as he should be taking the white flag. And the battle for second continues. James Crook currently running in 6th place. Let's hop in his car and look for the flag man to make sure the white flag is being waved here. Looks like it should be. As Yuho comes down through the bottom of the track. Adam Barker really sending it through there. He is trying anything he can to get a run for second place. As they sling him around one more time. Down the long straightaway they go. Yuho approaching the final chicane now. Scott Nalawi in second, Adam Barker in third. Plus, we still have a battle going on back for ninth, but we want to see who comes out on top. Wow, Adam Barker's got it up on two wheels. Yuho comes out of the final turn. He is going to take the win here at the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Second place is going to go. It looks like Nalawi, Adam Barker can't do anything at the line. A little blink of the lights. Adam Barker comes home third. Giancarlo is fourth. Hopping back to this battle, and McCready has pulled away from that battle for 10th as LaRue is battling Simon Zierk and Dylan Steinbach. As they come around one last time, they're nose to tail and side by side every corner. Mercedes powers up the hill. The BMWs are in the draft though. And the BMWs will have the advantage through the final section of track. Simon looked like he might make a move to the inside. Couldn't do anything with them. Gonna try and use the draft and suck up dive into that final chicane. Will they be able to do it? Steinbach is looking. Zierk is looking. Zierk can't get there. LaRue is going to pull away. One more turn to go. And, oh, Simon Zierk went around in the final turn. Dylan Steinbach's going to slip by. Let's see what happened to Simon. And it looks like, I do believe Dylan might have got a piece of him as they went through there. So Yuho pulls off another win. Scott finishes second. Adam Barker is third. Giancarlo is fourth. And Mike Marshall comes home fifth. And let's see if we can get a hold of third place. Hey, Adam, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, man. We were talking the last couple of weeks. Your luck has been just awful. And then today, everything bad happened behind you. The luck has definitely turned around. Congratulations on a third place.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. I got a pretty decent qualifying, so I think that's you got to qualify well, otherwise if you get caught in the middle of the pack, it's can get a bit rough in the middle.
It definitely does. I have to ask you, on I believe it was the first lap, there was an incident coming through the third corner, and it all happened right behind you. Did you breathe a sigh of relief when you looked in the mirror and saw that you weren't involved?
I didn't even see it. I was concentrating so hard on the apexes, but I heard a lot of the chatter in the Discord of people crashing out, but I didn't see any of it. I was lucky to be ahead of it for once.
You definitely were, and it seemed like everything that went wrong today happened either right behind you or way behind you, but it was all behind you today.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Scott pushed really hard at the end. It was good. I think I had him on tires, but I had no fuel left, so I had to go behind him to save some fuel, and then I couldn't get him on the last lap.
Well, still, after the last few weeks, it's got to be refreshing. You got.
I will take the third place. Yeah, easy.
All right, man. Congratulations. Great finish, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Scott in the lobby. Hey, Scott, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. How's it going?
Hey, man. Really good. I have to ask, man, that last few laps, when Adam Barker had to drop behind you, was it a relief? Did you know you could keep him off if he decided to crank it back up again?
Oh, I don't know. I was struggling with the tires there at the end, so I was really pushing right to the end there.
Well, it was definitely a great race between you two, especially after pit stops when you guys were so close and you had Yuho right there. It looked like it was going to be a three-car battle for the lead for a while.
Yeah, I don't think we can keep up with Yuho. He's just too fast for us.
Well, you guys definitely had a heck of a battle of your own today. And, man, congratulations. A great second-place finish today.
Yeah, thanks very much. It was a lot of fun. Had a good race last week, too, so I'm on a roll right now.
Yeah, it seems like you and Yuho just seem to stick together fairly well and keep marching your way towards the front.
Yeah, he's always my target. I try to keep up with him as much as I can.
Well, you had a great run today, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. Have a good one.
All right, let's see if we can talk to our race winner. Hey, Yuho, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, congratulations, man. Another win, and I haven't done the math officially, but you're going to be really, really close to having the points lead again.
Yeah, I think we're pretty even now with the Giancarlo, so getting interesting this one.
It is definitely getting interesting. You two seem to alternate tracks for the win this season.
Yeah, so it's kind of new start for the season because the wins are now even. So let's see how this continues, this one. But it's really tough, pushing the whole race, and I think I only got like 3 seconds ahead of the guys. So really no room for errors on this one.
No, there really was. And I have to ask, a lot of the guys that are usually in the Audis, a lot of guys that were usually in the Porsche, all these guys in the BMW today, did you consider making the switch yourself?
No, I didn't have time actually even test the other cars, so we're just trying to figure out the Porsche and go for it. So it has such a different kind of, you need the trail braking and this kind of different ways not to lose the rear end in the Porsche. So once you kind of get used to the car, you really don't want to change it because you can't really drive anything else.
I have heard that from other people, both in these cars and the GTE ones. The Porsche, once you get used to driving it, it's really hard to transition to another one.
Yeah, it's really different car than the other ones, and it's not easy. Definitely not easy. So you're kind of on the edge constantly with it.
Well, you're definitely making it look easy out there, man. Another win today, and congratulations, man.
Thanks.
All right, Yuho pulls off win number 3. So Giancarlo and Yuho currently tied for wins, and points probably going to be either even or within 1, maybe 2 points of each other. It's going to be a very interesting season going forward. So you definitely want to come back for those races every Sunday morning, and make sure you come back tonight to see the BRR Cup Series and the Fast and Fun ARCA Series. It's going to be great racing on track here again tonight. You don't want to miss the Cup cars at the Nashville Super Speedway and whatever ARCA has in store for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whew, I'm out of breath. That was an exciting one down to the wire. Hope y'all had enjoyed that as much as we did, and have a great day.